post game or what?
Something like that. 215 right now, so might as well.
He's on his way out there to the public.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good weight, but we'll see.
What's kind of stood out to y'all just getting the first couple practices out the way, seeing what the new look roster looks like?
Uh, just fast. I feel like our first day was a pretty good first day. A lot of times it gets real sloppy, but it's my fourth training camp now, so getting up there in age, and this is probably one of the better first days that I've seen, and so definitely we got a good group of guys.
I think Willie talked about just the importance of rebounding this year without JV, especially when you guys go to the wing-heavy lineups. How important is that for everybody to play a part in that, you think?
No, it's super important. I mean, shoot, we got guys like CJ getting 3 offensive rebounds in practice, so that's huge. You got to get rebounds from everybody. You got to get contributions from everybody because we aren't the tallest team, so we just got to make sure we are the more physical team and, the way that we can.
CJ, I think over your career you've talked about this, like you can play with anybody. Is that something you take pride in of, I can be on the ball and be really effective, and DeJounte's coming in this year and it might be a little bit different. Do you take pride in just versatility and being able to change your role?
Yeah. I mean, I played every role throughout my career, and I know how to move without the ball. I know how to be on the ball. I know how to do dribble handoffs. I know how to be a corner boy and get out the way. So I think it's important that as you continue to grow and evolve with the game, and as the game evolves, you have to be able to adapt. And being able to catch and shoot is a skill set that I have and a skill set that I've utilized throughout my career. And being able to rely upon that will be really beneficial for our team and for myself individually. So that's something that I'm comfortable with doing and something that I did alongside Dame for a long time.
CJ, when it comes to league expansion, this is more of a union question, obviously. How much does the league office work with player leadership on that issue?
That's a really good question. We have conversations throughout the year. I'm in constant communication with Adam. They do a great job of scheduling calls throughout the year where we're touching base and able to get a pulse of what the ownership groups are thinking alongside the players. And obviously, that's something that's voted on amongst the governors. So that can't happen until there's an agreement in place and everybody's on the same page. But based on the conversations that we've had and based on what Adam has kind of told the public, it's something that they're exploring and continuing to look into.
Do players get concerned? I don't even know if that's the right word, but do they think about where these location might be, like whether it's Vegas or even something out of the country, like Mexico City or London? Because all those places have been mentioned.
Yeah, I think there's 450 players and some change, so there's a lot of different opinions and a lot of different feelings about many things. But I think the consensus is that the players are on board for whatever is better for the game. I think we all care about our families. We all love stability and yearn for stability and the ability to take care of our families. But I think we all have a job to do, and that's to make the game better than it was when we found it. And at some point, the game's going to expand. It's just a matter of time and a matter of when.
Trey, you've done a great job being Robin the Batman here. How do you expect to see your game grow this year? What do you work on particularly during the offseason to kind of help your game grow a little more?
Just overall, being decisive, being aggressive in my spots. Definitely work on ball stuff. I still understand that we still got guys that are primary ball handlers, but in transition, those are times and opportunities to drive the ball and just be aggressive. Find different ways to get more points on the board.
More than likely, there's more money coming your way eventually in a bigger contract. Do you worry about something like that being a distraction in the season?
No, I don't think about it. It's part of the game. It's part of my job. And, y'all see my contract on Google, so it don't really matter if it's private, public, or whatever. It's nothing to be nervous about.
Dinner on Trey soon.
What's that?
Dinner's going to be on Trey.
That's right.
Coming from the man made over $300 million in his career, but all right, cool, that's fine.
Trey, I think, everybody is probably going to have to play up a position at times this year. I mean, I guess when you guys are throwing these wing lineups on the floor, I mean, are you going into the season preparing for okay, there's going to be times where I guard and power forwards, or maybe I have to spend a few possessions on Vucevic on opening night or anything like that? Is that something you're thinking about going into this year?
I'm 215. I mean, I gained some weight for a reason. I'm not saying I'm the post stopper, but I'm gonna hold my own down there.
Y'all have been really good the last couple of years, forcing turnovers, getting out in transition. How much do you think that can go up to another level with DeJounte on the team now?
Yeah, he's extremely active, really good on-ball and off-ball defender, understands the game, has been all defense, has been an all-star. So I think his perimeter pressure, his ability to kind of communicate defensively is something that we're going to enjoy, and you guys will be able to see it as the season progresses. But I mean, him and her defending at a high level is something that's going to be special to watch.
CJ, how much do you think your role would change this year, whether it be coming off the bench or starting in the starting five?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just impact of winning, honestly. We have a lot of good players, a lot of guys that are capable of starting and finishing games, but for us it's about doing whatever it takes to win, putting our best foot forward and continuing to contribute towards winning. But I can play a lot of different roles, and I think for us it's about coaches making the decisions and us kind of following suit and helping impact.
So you're not opposed to being that sixth guy off. I know you've been a starter all your life, but pretty much.
I think the biggest thing is whatever it takes to win. I'm not going to volunteer, but if that's what the coach wants to do, that's what he wants to do. I think the biggest thing for us is to play. Our job is to play the game at a high level, and I don't get paid to coach. I don't get paid to make decisions. I get paid to go out there and do what I'm told. So I think that's the mindset coming into this season. I mean, I've been a quality player for a long time, and look forward to continuing to be that.
Is that maybe the thing that everyone has to deal with the most this year? Is you have to accept the role you're given, whether it's you or Trey or.
I think at the end of the day, if it's about winning, then that's what's important. I don't know that we have a set lineup. I think things are probably going to change throughout the year, to be honest, depending on matchups and who we play and injuries. There's so many things that go into a season that allows the season to change and kind of unfold. And then the other thing is we got to go play. We got to all prove ourselves each day. We got to show that we can all play together and mesh. And there's going to be different combinations of lineups that have to be out there for us to kind of explore what's best for us. But I think at the end of the day, we have a lot of good players, and the best players are going to play.
Thank you.
So what's kind of been a takeaway after the first few practices with you guys?
I think it's been good. It's been super competitive. And I love how we're looking with the big on the floor or not. I think we'll, continue to learn. I won't say a new system, but just trying to learn how to mesh together. But I do think it'll take a little time, and I think the training camp will be very helpful for it.
How much do you think that DeJounte is kind of changing the dynamic on the floor?
He's helping a lot, especially defensively. We have a lot of weapons offensively, but defensively he's helping a lot, allowing us to switch a lot of things on the perimeter and in the post.
Schematically, are you guys doing a lot of different things than you've done, playing for Willie? I mean, how different is it?
Oh, for sure. It's not too much of a difference. It's just trying to learn DeJounte really and Daniel.
Have you envisioned what this defense is going to look like with you on the court with DeJounte and these long arm guys at the point?
Say again?
Have you envisioned what this defense can look like with yourself and DeJounte and other long arm defenders at the point?
Yeah, I think we'll be able to disrupt a lot of teams. Our entire team pretty much has a lot of length, which allows us to switch a lot on the perimeter. And I don't think it'll be a lot of mismatches on the floor, so I think it'll help a lot.
Are people making too much of this team apparently needing bigger size down in the low post and have not kind of lacking that traditional 7-footer down low like you had in Jonas last year?
Say it again?
Are you thinking people making too much out of not having a traditional center down low like Jonas last year? Maybe you guys can adjust a different way and be better?
Yeah, if we rebound, we'll be fine. But I really don't care what people say about it.
To that point, how important is collectively everybody playing a part in the rebounding stuff, especially when you guys don't have a traditional center on the floor?
Yeah, it's just take discipline to box out every possession, and I think we'll do a good job of holding guys accountable doing that.
That last drill you guys did, there's a real emphasis in three-point shooting this season.
Yeah, well, we did the same drill last year.
Okay.
But that's just kind of a competitive drill to knock down shots, and, the important shots.
What really stands up to you as far as DeJounte's leadership, how he goes about leading, and what makes it different from some other guys?
I think he's still, figuring out how to push certain guys' buttons. He's done a great job being vocal and just, kind of setting the tone for us vocally.
What have some early impressions been of Daniel Tice and, just the type of player he is?
He's amazing, and I feel like he doesn't necessarily want the ball a lot. He knows how to play the game the right way. Very good communicator, We've been talking a bunch on the defensive end about certain things we're going to try to do.
And him and JV kind of operate on very different spots on the floor offensively. How much does that kind of change the way y'all are doing things on the offensive end?
I know JV had more of a post presence, and my boy DT usually he doesn't post up a bunch, which opens up the floor a lot. And I think he understands that concept coach is trying to implement.
Herb, what part of your game do you try to work on more this off summer to improve on?
Still just continue to try to improve my three-point shot. I shot some off the dribbles, but I just try to key in on, still knocking down the catch and shoots.
Is there? I know you're good from the corner, but is there a particular point, a spot on the floor that you are trying to get better at, knocking down more consistently?
Anything behind the three-point line.
Yeah. Okay.
What are your impressions just of being in Nashville, being in this building, and how does that maybe help you guys kind of get training camp started on the right foot?
I mean, I think, being in a different environment allows us to spend time together off the court as well, which we need. We need to build some team chemistry. It's been fun, coming up to Nashville and working out.
Is there anything special you guys have done maybe away from the court here to take advantage of being in a different spot?
Not yet. We just had the 2 days yesterday. We'll probably have another one today. So if anything, we might do something as a team tomorrow.
Excited? Are you looking forward to that first preseason game on Monday?
Oh, yeah. I think everybody's excited for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
And what's kind of stood out to you about just how DeJounte leads and what he kind of prioritizes and the way he kind of communicates with the guys?
He's a big-time relationship guy. So he's going up to guys, he's talking through plays, he's asking them where they want the ball, he's holding each other accountable defensively, but he's putting in the work. So when you put in that type of work, you're building up equity with all your teammates.
And just getting a chance to see him on the court with the guys, how do you think he's trying to change the dynamics on both ends?
He adds another elite basketball player, basketball mind. He wants to come in and help us be the best that we can be on both ends of the floor, really. And we're really appreciating his leadership. And like I said, all of these guys are leaders in their own way. And he adds to that dimension.
What do you think about DeJounte and CJ and how their games can mesh in the backcourt for you?
Yeah, well, I think the beauty of it is both of those guys throughout the course of their careers have played off other point guards or scoring guards. DeJounte did it early in San Antonio. He also did it in Atlanta. CJ early in his days, or almost his whole career with Damian Lillard. So those guys they're interchangeable. They can adjust on the fly, and I think it makes us, a problem for other teams.
And I'm not going to ask you what will you do, but is CJ and DeJounte at least a possibility you considered for a lineup you start with or anything like that?
Yeah, everything's on the table right now, and so we had a good first day of practice. Coming in today, another spirited practice this morning. We'll come back tonight. Play more, and then get some more film work on the things that we like and some areas that we need to improve.
Really, how much have you paid attention to how much better of a shot maker Herb Jones has become?
I think we're all paying attention to it. The work that he's done over the last few seasons to have an understanding of how teams are guarding him. He can knock down a shot. He's a threat, but he's also a threat because he's a high IQ basketball player. He can go in transition. He knows that if they're not guarding him, he can pitch the ball to Brandon. He can pitch it to Z, go set a screen, become almost like a five-man and play from there. So Herb is getting better and better. And then I didn't even mention, he's first team all defense. Really? So his instincts are incredible.
Yeah. Is it always easy to say that a guy can go from being so good on defense to being almost equally as good on offense in such a short period of time in the NBA? Or is his situation unusual?
Well, I think when you work as hard as he does, sky's really the limit. And he's the first one at practice pretty much every day. He's one of the last guys to leave. So it's not a coincidence that Herb is having the success that he's having thus far. And even when you look at him in college, he was one of their primetime players, so he is accustomed to having the ball in his hands, making plays, and he's doing a bit more of that.
Hawk mentioned that one of his goals is he wants to be more efficient shooter, scorer this year. When he was asked how do you do that, he said just make more shots. But is there more to it than that in terms of finding his spots and shot selection and just the adjustment of a rookie going into his second year?
Yeah, I thought Hawk had a really solid rookie season, and he's coming in looking to build on that. He's right. We want him to come in the game, be super aggressive, but also understanding the shots that are his shots and the shots that he can pass up and get to a teammate, because that's just going to make him even more of a threat. But teams are guarding him. When he steps on the floor, they're guarding him. They know what he's capable of doing, and now it's continuing to add.
Where do you want to see Troy get better? Trey get better?
Well, I think Trey's getting better. You know, all these guys are getting better and better as they progress. For Trey, it's staying elite at the things that he does well. He shoots the cover of the ball. He's one of the he's in the top in the NBA in rim finishing at the basket. So just continuing on those areas, rebounding is an area of improvement, and becoming even a better defender.
Is there any concern about the whole contract situation becoming a distraction in the season for him, do you think?
To this point, it hasn't been a concern. He hasn't been concerned. It hasn't been a distraction, and hopefully, we can continue to talk, and Griff and those guys, our management team can get something done.
Yves is a relative newcomer to the game. I mean, what do you just want to see from him in year one in the NBA?
Just continue to work hard and compete. For Yves, is coming in, competing, block every shot that you can. I don't care where you are on the floor. If you can go get it. Rebound the ball, screen, dive, finish. Things that we've talked to him about, and thus far he's doing it, and he's pretty impressive.
Well, you guys dunk last night that we saw.
Yeah.
Was his head above the backboard?
It was up there. It was an impressive play.
And you guys have always prioritized being disruptive, forcing turnovers on defense. How much do you think that can go up to another level with DeJounte and Tice, that being added to the lineup?
I think it's going to continue to get better. With those guys on the floor, DeJounte being another all-defensive player, Herb, adding Tice, we can be pretty disruptive. And when we are, those lead to transition opportunities. They lead to catch and shoot threes, rim finishing, getting to the free throw line. So it opens up the floor for us offensively.
And how big is that, knowing how good Zion, Herb, Trey, all those guys are in transition?
It's a luxury. It's a luxury to have the talent that we have on this team, to come into camp and be healthy and have these guys competing the way they are.
Really, how did you guys identify Nashville and then this facility in particular as a place you wanted to come? And what are you getting out of this week in starting training camp away from home?
Well, we have a few Belmont alumni. So Adam Barnes and TJ Saint. We came to Nashville during Hurricane Ida, and they opened up their doors for us. They were so generous, Belmont and Vanderbilt, and it was a place that we felt we can come back and have camp at.